Okay everybody, this is mooneydashcam. If you enjoy these videos, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. I also have an Instagram and a TikTok, both at mooneydashcam. If you want to see more content, I try to put content on there daily. Alright, let's get into it. Today, we're in the South Bronx. We're on Morris Avenue. Right here is East 167th Street. And we're going to be talking about a little-known drug dealer named George Rivera, otherwise known as Boy George. I know that's the name of a popular singer, but that's not who we're talking about. This guy started in the summer of 1987 when he was 19 and had a super quick rise in the drug dealing business. He had a very short run, but so it was the summer of 1987, in the middle of the crack epidemic, pretty much, and he decided, you know what, I'm not going to sell crack, I'm going to sell heroin in the South Bronx, and not any sort of heroin, very high quality heroin. And he was a good businessman, so he branded the names. He had two different names for it, Obsession and Sledgehammer, which, as far as heroin name goes, I think those are pretty good. And he kind of ran this area for 2 years until his ultimate crackdown. But it's said that he made, in those 2 years, he made $15 million. $250,000 a week. That's pretty insane for a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. That's insane for anybody, let's be real. $250,000 a week is more money than you could imagine spending. We're going to shoot over to a club, and it's actually a very famous club in the Bronx, Club 371. Big, very well-known place for people that are into hip-hop. A lot of stuff came from there, a lot of old hip-hop from that area. But yeah, that was a club that he would hang out at a lot and kind of run his operation from there, and have people come in and out of there to deal with him. So, on his rise to fame, it's said that, well, the feds say he's linked to 12 murders. Now, I don't think that he murdered 12 people himself. I don't doubt that he did kill some people, but, actually, I know he killed some people. But he hired a lot of hitmen to get his, to get into power, to get his point across, so you could say. Alright, so, he was one of the wealthiest drug lords to ever come out of New York, maybe ever in that short amount of time, to ever have been, you know? He was one of the youngest to be charged with the kingpin statute, which is not easy. You have to be a drug kingpin to do that. Not that it's some goal to aspire to, but, you know, it's kind of crazy to think of. And he ran his operation like a business, like a Fortune 500 company. He would give gifts and bonuses and vacations to his employees if they did well, and stuff like that. Very smart beyond his years, business-wise. I mean, he could have went into a legitimate business, but heroin was the business that he got into. We're going to make a right, not here, past this light. I didn't blow the light, everyone, that was yellow. We're going to make a right on Teller Avenue right now. Oh, no, this is actually Clay Avenue, I apologize. Now we're heading south. I don't do night videos often, so this is a treat for the both of us. I enjoy doing night videos. You guys get to see how dirty my windshield is. Alright, so at 21, like I said, he was very smart with business. So at 21, he owned shopping malls and commercial real estate. So a bunch of stores and stuff like that. I'm assuming he rented out. He had a mansion in Puerto Rico. He had a stash house in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. It was an apartment that he apparently had bags and bags, garbage bags full of cash at. That's where he would keep it all. I don't know where he actually lived. Come on, guy, get out of my way here. I don't know where he actually lived. I could not find like a home address to him. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know a more exact area. But yeah, he had a stash house in Upper East Side. That's where he kept garbage bags full of cash and his crazy car collection, which I'll get into in a second here. Alright, we're pulling up on East 166th Street. Now, I don't think the club is still standing anymore, but this is the block that it was on. I'm going to shoot down it. And like I said, he ran most of his operations out of this block. It just said it's on East 166 between Clay Avenue and Teller Avenue. It's extremely hard to try and find an address to this place. So this is the best I could do. Even though it was so known, you'd think you'd be able to find an address. This is what I could find. I know it's kind of anticlimactic that it's just a road, but you can't really find much else on the dude. It's hard to find a lot of information about him. There was a book that was out, the Puerto Rican James Bond. I'll get into his cars now. There's a reason why his name is the Puerto Rican James Bond. Obviously, he was Puerto Rican. But he was known for his insane car collection. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, a Bentley, a Porsche, he had a Mercedes. He had a Mercedes that had $50,000 worth of custom James Bond-like things done to it. His Mercedes was his, from what I've read, was his like favorite car. I think it was a Mercedes 190. That's what it was called. Over here first, you go, sir. Now, like I said earlier, we are in the South Bronx. We are having a huge crime spike in New York City right now, so this is not really the area you want to be in. But hey, we're not doing anything wrong, so. As you can see, it's not even late. It's 5:30 right now. A lot of people hanging out on the street, getting stared down a little bit while you're driving down my block. That type of stuff. But that's to be expected. Alright. What road are we on right now? What did I turn down? So I can give you the update, you guys. On Finley Avenue. Wow, this is tight. I was inches from that person's mirror. Jeez. Alright, we're gonna make a right onto East 164th. Oh, so I'll get back into his car. So he had a Mercedes. I think it was an E190. I could be mistaken on that. But he had $50,000 worth of crazy customization done to it. He had hidden cash, gun, and drug spots all throughout the car that he had someone custom make, of course. Why wouldn't you? When you're trying to elude police and other drug dealers possibly trying to take your stuff. Wow, these blocks are tight. So, to get into the craziness of it, he had that, the little stash spots. Apparently he had an oil slick that would come out if you hit a button, that would come out of the rear of the car. He had another button that would drop nails out of the rear of the car. This stuff sounds pretty crazy, but I read a bunch of articles that all involved his cars. And he had a strobe light that would blind anyone behind him. And he also had like a smoke screen that would come out. Like I said, this stuff sounds crazy, but it was real. He also had a custom ostrich leather interior in one of his cars that costed $12,000. And in his BMW, he had a button that would launch out compartments with loaded guns. Sounds insane, but telling you guys what I'm reading here. I do the best research that I can. We're going to be making a left onto Morris Avenue, heading south. And he also had a bunch of women around. He was kind of a short guy, a good-looking dude, and he always had the best suits, the best clothes, the best women on his arm. He had women all over the Bronx, I'm assuming all over New York, and he would just pay them to stay home. He liked everything super, super clean, so there was one of his girlfriends that he would just buy a bunch of DVDs for her in the beginning of the week, leave them with her, and pay her to stay home and keep his house clean. He had one girl of his, had a Boy George 24 karat gold diamond plate necklace. He had multiple women get the tattoo property of Boy George on them. Pretty insane, crazy narcissistic, like, you know, sociopathic type tendencies, obviously. Oh, we're driving over one of the big Black Lives Matter signs on the ground right now. One of the big yellow paintings. Crossing over East 161st Street on Morris Avenue. Yeah, so he had women everywhere. Now, this is kind of his last big blowout before the big bust. Don't pull out, sir. I'm driving here. Whoa, backed up right into me. Wasn't that nuts? The cop behind me threw his siren on for that one. Not for me, for the guy in front. Letting everyone know. Alright, I'm gonna make a right onto... Oh, no rights. Alright. And I have a cop behind me, so I'm not gonna break any rules right now. They always like to change the rules up on you. No rights, no lefts here, no, only straight for buses. It's insane. They're trying to give you tickets out here at any time they can. Alright, so his big Christmas Eve blast. December 24th, 1988. So this is only a year in to his operation. This is how quickly he rose. He rented a yacht, 30 grand cash, to go out onto the Hudson River with 156 people, right? He paid Big Daddy Kane $12,000 to do a 15-minute set. He had other artists on the yacht too. $12,000 in champagne, along with a crazy expensive menu of a steak tartare, lamb, prime rib, just the best of the best, of course. If you can imagine a super extravagant, rich person, rich drug dealer, very flamboyant drug dealer's party, this is how it went, you know? Let's see here. I mean, everyone double parks right here. So he also had a raffle at the party that had a bunch of luxury prizes. The first prize was a fully loaded Mitsubishi and $20,000 cash. The second prize was a Rolex. The third prize was a trip to Hawaii. The fourth prize was a trip to Disneyland. Pretty insane, everything about it. Like I said, he would gift his employees all different types of crazy stuff if they did well. One of his guys, he got a brand new BMW 750. And another one of his men, he got a gold Rolex and $50,000 cash. And to 4 of his people, he gave them all gold... Oh, what am I hearing? I thought it was a speaker to a cop pulling me over. That's happened before. He gave them all 4 people. He gave them golden, diamond-encrusted belt buckles. They were Obsession belt buckles to go with the brand of heroin they dealt. Those were appraised at $8,000 each. Now, the reason why this party is so well documented, because you can't really get a lot of information on Boy George. The reason why it's very well documented is some of the security guards working the party were actually NYPD narcotics detectives. That's where it all comes crashing down to an end. Oh, I forgot to mention, like I said, he was good with business. So one of his fronts was just Tuxedo Enterprises. That was a legal front for his business. He moved money in and out of that. There's one story that I thought was crazy. A guy bumped his Mercedes by accident on the road, a normal accident, people get into accidents. He chased the guy down in his car, ran him off the road, and then stabbed him 17 times. So, pretty intense dude, and did not like to be didn't like to be messed with at all. He's any sign of weakness he thought people would jump on, which they do. He's not wrong for thinking that way. He said when someone didn't want to pay him, he said, "Dude, I want to eat today. Don't you want to eat today? I want to eat. So pay me my money." That's the kind of tactics he used. Alright, what road are we on now? We are on East 149th Street, kind of a poppin' road in the Bronx. But yeah, so he stabbed the guy 17 times, killed him, and one of the witnesses of that crime turned up dead in the trunk of a car at an airport in Florida. Pretty insane. So he ended up getting busted in 1989, so summer of 1987 is when he started. In 1989 he gets busted. June 1990 he got indicted on 14 charges and currently serving life in prison without parole for 2 years of a super, super, super crazy life. So that's pretty much everything I have to tell you about Boy George. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I also have an Instagram and a TikTok that I try and post on daily, both at mooneydashcam. Alright, see you in the next one.